I'm a freshwater ecologist at NIWA. I've been here for the last 16 years. I specialise in studying lamprey as well as galaxids. Pouched lamprey is also known as kanakana and piharau, and it can be regarded as a living fossil. So the records date back some 360 million years ago. Historically, they were a very important food source for Māori and regarded as a mahinga kai, but now they're very seldom fished for. The larvae rear in the freshwater environment. They'll burrow into soft sediments in their filter feeders. Then as juveniles, they'll metamorphose and migrate out to the sea, where they feed parasitically on fish and mammals before returning to freshwater as adults. So we've had to develop some novel methods of detecting and monitoring lamprey. Firstly, we looked at the pheromones that the larvae are releasing, and pheromones are essentially a species-specific odour cue. We developed an in-stream sampler that will absorb those pheromones. The sampler goes into the water, we leave it in there for 2 to 3 weeks, and it will absorb the pheromones and give us an indication of the distribution and abundance of the larval lamprey. During the migration upstream, the adults will select their spawning streams based on the presence and abundance of the larval pheromone signature. The next step was to also track the reproductive adults through to the spawning sites, and that was also made difficult by the fact that lamprey have very little space inside their body, and we had to develop some unique antenna systems to enable us to track them. We were successful in locating the first spawning site for a Southern Hemisphere lamprey species, and it turns out our species is very unique in their spawning behaviour. Male and female will pair up underneath a large boulder, and both sexes will survive spawning for some 15 weeks. And the male will also undertake some parental care of the developing eggs, which is the first ever for a lamprey species. We're now working with Maniapoto and Waikato Tainui iwi to map the distribution of lamprey in the Waikato region and also develop protection and restoration measures. We've also had international interest for using our pheromone samplers to monitor the Pacific lamprey. Lamprey are a key part of our biological heritage. It's really sad to think that after 360 million years, it's now the changes that we've made to the waterways that are causing these fish to disappear. And I think it's important that we all protect and try and reverse the decline of this treasured species.